don't think Pokemon games get enough credit for the subtlety of their storytelling. In the realm of video games, Pokemon has long been celebrated for its captivating world, iconic creatures, and engaging gameplay. However, amidst its widespread acclaim, one aspect often overlooked is the subtlety in their narratives. I intend to delve into the intricacies of the stories told within Pokemon, with a particular focus on the Teal Mask DLC, revealing the profound cultural depth and philosophical nuances that enrich the game's lore. The Teal Mask expansion, while not providing the expected answers to lingering questions from the core game like what was the true source of terrestrialization, what Pokemon really brought the professor to their untimely end, and what is the time machine, instead offers us new characters with their own backstories, which do little but bring up further questions. Where did Ogrepon and the Loyal Three come from? How did the Loyal Three suddenly revive, and why now? Why did they want the masks if they never wore them? And how did Kieran get the villagers to forego decades worth of xenophobic beliefs so easily? The game's story is purposely vague. Ogrepon and the Loyal Three are introduced to us through numerous folktales, each demonstrating biases and absent context. These narratives are presented to us as unreliable. As such, we have to conclude that instead of explicit dialogue, the true narrative is unveiled through the player's actions. To comprehend the story though, one must first grasp the essence of Pokemon themselves. You see, Pokemon are rather enigmatic by their very nature. After all, no one's ever seen a Pokemon egg actually be laid, nor do we understand the phenomenon that is evolution. The Pokemon simply become shrouded in light, preventing us from gazing upon the wonder of their metamorphosis. Is this a Pokemon? Why? While Western perspectives often consider Pokemon as animals or objects with fantastical attributes, through the lens of Japanese culture, we can perceive Pokemon as more than mere entities. They are extensions of nature, embodying the Shinto and Buddhist beliefs of animism. This concept posits that nearly anything can possess a soul, a living being, an inanimate object, or even natural phenomena. In Shintoism, we encounter the notion of kami, spirits that permeate all things. These kami exist in diverse forms. Natural forces inherently possess kami, while others, like inanimate objects, must survive a century before they are believed to attain a kami. It's noteworthy that kami transcend the physical realm, extending their presence to not only physical bodies, like mountains, but also encompass natural phenomena, such as earthquakes, and even present as metaphysical embodiments of abstract concepts. None of these kami are separate from nature, but are themselves nature. This concept of kami serves as a foundation for understanding the origins of Pokemon, a notion that finds support in the reveal trailer of Poltergeist. In this tale, a tea master, steadfast in his commitment to etiquette and the betterment of those around him, infuses his tea caddy with the essence of that concept. Over generations, this vessel, now imbued with accumulated spiritual energy, gives rise to the Pokemon Poltergeist, in a manner akin to attaining a kami. Poltergeist inherits a fervent desire to mend what it perceives as broken, while harboring disdain for those who breach the boundaries of decorum. This narrative demonstrates how a Pokemon can arise from the ideas of an individual. It's important to note, however, that Kitakami and its real-world counterpart, Japan, primarily uphold collectivist values. To appreciate this perspective fully, we must acknowledge the profound cultural disparities between East and West. Western societies tend to emphasize individualism, where self is paramount, whereas Japanese culture adheres to collectivism, emphasizing one's role within a broader whole. This collectivist worldview harmonizes individuals within their families, communities, and the nation. And the power of any given Pokemon is intrinsically linked to the strength of these concepts, bolstered by the collective belief in them. Concepts like knowledge, willpower, and emotion, or broader notions like land, sea, and sky, all find expression in Pokemon form. This perspective offers a profound insight to the origins of Pokemon and their interconnectedness with the natural and metaphysical world. The Teal Mask's narrative also explores the concept of xenophobia, the fear and prejudice against outsiders. Ogrepon's backstory illustrates how foreign visitors were initially treated with suspicion and hostility. Even when they attempted to assimilate, deep-rooted prejudices persisted. The masks crafted for them concealed their identities, but could not erase the underlying biases. With that in mind, we can take a look at the Loyal Three, Monkidori, Fezendipiti, and Okidogi. I believe these Pokemon symbolize the values of Kitakami and its desire to preserve its heritage from outsiders. Each Pokemon's characteristics and the masks they steal shed light on their intended representation. Monkidori embodying the pursuit of knowledge, steals the Wellspring Mask, signifying the village's desire to protect its wellspring of knowledge. All things known to them about the land, the Pokémon, their ancestry, and even how they grow their crops. If freely given to an outsider, that knowledge could be corrupted or taken away. Fezendipiti, representing the preservation of beauty, takes the Hearthflame Mask, safeguarding the heart of Kitakami, the land itself in all of its natural radiance. It intends to keep it from strangers who could pollute it or build over it without a care for what already exists. And Okidogi, symbolizing the village's strength, retrieves the Cornerstone Mask, preserving the village's traditions and cultural foundations, all of which could be washed away by the influence of outsiders. This fear of foreigners and desire to preserve Kitakami gave rise to the Loyal Three so many years ago, and their return was catalyzed by Carmine, a character who is still vehemently opposed to outsiders. Her strong beliefs and prejudices provide the energy needed for these Pokemon to awaken. That is why their resurrection doesn't occur until you visit the shrine with Carmine at your side. It underscores how deeply ingrained beliefs can shape reality within the Pokemon world. In classic Japanese storytelling fashion, a nuanced solution to these complex issues is instead replaced by allowing our main character to confront them directly. This action-based approach aligns with a broader tradition in Japanese media of confronting abstract concepts through tangible means. In other anime, you have Ed and Al fighting the representations of sins in Fullmetal Alchemist. Denji fights the manifestations of people's collective fear in Chainsaw Man, and in films, you have Godzilla, who acts as the embodiment of nuclear destruction. In the Teal Mask, players symbolically challenge and overcome the village's xenophobia by battling the metaphysical embodiments of prejudice. And in defeating them, you allow Kieran to more easily win over the village. In conclusion, Pokemon's storytelling, particularly in the Teal Mask expansion, is far more profound than it might initially appear. It delves into the depths of Japanese culture, exploring collectivism, animism, and the power of belief. By understanding these cultural nuances, players gain a richer appreciation of the narrative and the answers to the questions posed within it. Ultimately, the Teal Mask serves as a parable for setting aside prejudices, embracing diversity, and learning from one another. A message that transcends the game itself and resonates with the broader human experience. So, on your travels, stay safe and be kind. Continuing to make these videos would not be possible without the help from our channel members and especially our Mega Tier members. Thank you.